for an opening statement.
Thank you, Chair Webster, for calling today's hearing on the fiscal year 2024 budget request for the U.S. Coast Guard. But before I provide my remarks, I want to ask for unanimous consent that Ranking Member Larson's written statement be included in the record.
So ordered.
Thank you. Admiral Fagan and Master Chief Jones, thank you for being here today, and thank you for your service. Your leadership is instrumental in supporting Coasties, and you've done an outstanding job leading the service. I'm confident that the Coast Guard has a bright future ahead under your experience guidance. As has been mentioned, the Coast Guard performs many important roles that are critical for maintaining our national and economic security, from ensuring navigable waterways to securing our borders and the safety of life at sea. The Coast Guard's mission set is very diverse. We expect a lot from our Coasties, and this oftentimes requires them to wear multiple hats. For instance, a drug interdiction can quickly turn into a search and rescue mission. While the Coast Guard's responsibilities have expanded, its budget has not. I was pleased that the fiscal year 2024 budget request included a slight increase in the discretionary funding, but more resources are still needed to support the service. I'm pleased that the Coast Guard has been able to replace much of its 40-year-old surface fleet and aircraft. Last Congress, I was proud to support the Don Young Coast Guard Authorization Act of 2022, which authorized substantial funding to address long overdue vessel and equipment replacement, as well as shoreside infrastructure repair. Unfortunately, these levels were not matched in the fiscal year 22 budget. Aside from the new assets and upgraded facilities, there are other ways to improve the lives of service members, both on land and at sea. I've heard from service members across the country about mental health concerns. Their job can take a physical and mental toll, which is only exacerbated by 4,000 service member deficit. We must do more not only to expand mental health services, but also to improve the quality of life for service members, especially those in isolated locations, some of which I have visited. Finally, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the Coast Guard's efforts to address sexual assault and harassment in the commercial maritime industry. I was an original co-sponsor of the Safer Seas Act, and I'm glad to see that the Coast Guard has acted swiftly to implement the important reforms passed last Congress. We have a long way to go, but I believe under Admiral Fagan's leadership, we will bring justice to victims and help protect future mariners from harm. I look forward to today's testimonies and discussions about how Congress can support a robust Coast Guard. Mr. Chair, I yield back.
I would now like to welcome our witnesses and thank them for being here today. I ask unanimous consent that the witnesses